Perfect. So welcome everyone to this B-Briddhi FAQ session for the Bridge for Billions platform. We have with us Maxime Cheng from Roots of Impact, as well as from Alexandra from Bridge for Billions platform, who's going to give us a quick overview about what Bridge for Billions has to offer this year. But before we go there, I'd like to ask Maxime to give a quick introduction of the B-Briddhi program. Maxime, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayhard. Hi, everyone. I see a lot of familiar names or faces, but I'm also very excited to see that there are new organizations joining us today to know a little bit more about what B-Briddhi is about, but also more specifically, the Bridge for Billions activity that we offer, especially catering to incubators that target at slightly earlier stage impact enterprises. So with B-Briddhi, we have launched this program since March 2020, funded by the Swiss Embassy in Bangladesh. And Roots of Impact is the lead project implementer, together with the support of Light Castle partners who have been of great help in the past 2 years. And Bridge for Billions is one of the service provider of one of the pillar of activities that we offer in this program, where we offer capacity building support to both incubators, accelerators, but also impact entrepreneurs through different activities, including Bridge for Billions, Train the Trainer program, and voucher scheme on impact measurement and management, as well as investment readiness. But then this month also, we will be starting the open call for the catalytic funding for impact entrepreneurs. And finally, we also have activity in the advocacy pillar. So that has been what B-Briddhi is about, trying to really address both the supply and demand side of the ecosystem of an impact investing market. Maybe we can move on to the fourth slide, actually. Perfect. So yeah, so this is who we are, and B-Briddhi offers a lot of different activities, as I mentioned. Alex, would you mind going to the next slide as well? And so today we're only focusing on one of the many activities that we're offering, which is Bridge for Billions, offering structure and guidance for incubation programs. And we're very happy that Alex from Bridge for Billions is with us today, who can share a little bit more about what Bridge for Billions is about. And also for those who have already participated in the Bridge for Billions track in the previous 2 years, there actually has been some slight changes. And that's why we're hosting this Q&A session today, for you to have a better understanding of how it could fit better to the work that you have already been doing. So with that, I will hand over to Alex. Thanks for being with us today, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maxime. Okay, so hello, everyone. As Maxime was saying, I am Alex from the Bridge for Billions team. Today, we will be presenting, of course, an overview of the program, which some of you already know, some of you may just be starting to know. But also, we're going to tell you a bit about the mindset shift, a little bit that we did from past editions to this edition, where we have some improvements that we believe will make a much more solid program where you can all benefit as incubators, as our entrepreneurship organizations, and for your entrepreneurs and mentors. So for those that don't know us so well, Bridge for Billions, we usually like to call ourselves as a digital ecosystem of entrepreneurship programs. So we partner with different organizations to co-design entrepreneurship programs at incubation stage, as Maxime was explaining just before. So in the past years, we've worked with over 3,000 founders and over 200 programs in many regions. So with those learnings, this is how we come to this project that we are presenting to you today, and to the new improvements that we want to launch in the program. So this is the model that we work with, just to show you a little bit in a visual way. So today, and at the stage where we are now, we are receiving applications from those incubators, those entrepreneurship organizations that want to participate in this program, because you either have a program that you're launching and you want to take advantage of everything that is in this program to up-level yours, let's say, or on the other hand, you have an initiative, a specific initiative, a specific program that you want to launch within this umbrella program. And once we start, after we have all the confirmations of who's participating, we will do a training cycle. So this training cycle, I will tell you a little bit more about, but basically is to transfer the knowledge from previous editions, from how the program should go, from everything that you should take into consideration to make your program a success with its own mission and characteristics. And we all will be in this training cycle, which will be for a few sessions, and we will pass this, transfer all this knowledge to your program managers, to the people that are leading your programs. And then once the incubation itself starts, we will work together, of course, to co-manage this program so that your entrepreneurs can work in the program, either solo entrepreneurs or working in teams, online, and for some of you also on site, I believe, with a hybrid model, and with mentors that are following up on those entrepreneurs, that are coaching these entrepreneurs to launch their businesses or to develop and restructure their business models. I will tell you about all of this in the next few slides, but this is how we're working. So what is this training cycle? So once we start, the way we prepare the program is that we want to invite you all to come in, to have a zero moment, let's say, meeting where we all meet and we discuss what are the goals that you all have from the program, so we can know each other, we can know how we can best adapt the model to each one of your programs too, how we can work together, what is the exact timeline, although we have a preset calendar view, but what would be, how does this fit with the timeline of your organizations too, and how we will work together. And then we map the trainings that we need to do until the program starts with your teams, right? So first, of course, we will do a program overview, a much more detailed information about what the program is like, what you will find, what you will find in the incubation platform, what you can use, what are all the assets that you can use as a program manager, etc. Then we go to discussing in detail how you can best use the selection phase, because the platform, the incubation platform, allows you to do all of this, allows you to run applications, to select, to match people with mentors, to run the incubation program, to close the program. So we will go through all of this. And also we can also share with you what are the insights from our perspective of who would be the entrepreneurs that most fit the program. So we can have a whole section only about those questions to help you really do a better job in choosing the entrepreneurs that you know will be a success in this program with these characteristics. So we want to hear you out and be able to support you in this process. Then we go for the third module, which is an in-depth understanding of the methodology. So we will tell you more about the methodology, but how the program is designed so that all entrepreneurs that, besides the support that you give them within your program, they have this standard methodology that they go through and they design their ventures as the program is ongoing, everything online. And of course, we also want to have a session about how to engage the cohort, what are the best practices that we've seen in the past across organizations with different profile, cohorts with different profile, with different with different client profiles, with different people that you work with, beneficiaries, etc. So this is what we want to have this session about, understanding what is the best practices for each type of cohort that we are addressing here. And then, of course, we can have a meeting to, if you want, all participate in the selection of the entrepreneurs and mentors, just a Q&A also for what would be your doubts, what would be your questions, how we can support you. And I know that from program to program, and with the difference of if you've participated before, also if you are doing a new initiative or you are adding this as an initiative that you have ongoing. So all of this changes. So this is why we have these moments also to be flexible enough to support you where you are. And then we do also a session to prepare for what we know are the sessions that support the entrepreneurs throughout the program. This can be checkpoint moments that we can facilitate with you, or we can also provide you a script or a model for you to work with these entrepreneurs. This can be moments to develop soft skills. It can be moments to go in depth about each one of the business models, so that the entrepreneurs have these sessions that also help them with accountability. So these would be sessions that are totally optional for you, but that we can provide you with the support to bring them together for your groups. So this is a little bit how the training of trainers work. Let's say we would all be together and we would go through this for about 1 month or 2 months, depending on what is the timeline that we define for the program before it starts. And you, as an incubator or an organization that works with early stage entrepreneurship, this is what you will get from participating. So not only has all this knowledge that we are transferring you about program management and about a new methodology in entrepreneurship that may add to your own, but we also today, of course, we are offering a way to digitize your program. So your entrepreneurs will access an online platform that they can work from anywhere, that has a very consolidated and comprehensive methodology that they can go through, that mentors can have a structured way of guiding their mentorship sessions with the entrepreneurs. But also you as an organization will have a certificate that you went through this methodology, that you went through this program, and that you are now certified in the methodology and the way we run programs, and of course make a real impact, because we are supporting entrepreneurs also that are purpose driven somehow, or that have a purpose driven business model. So this is what you as an organization on a very high level will get immediately. And we, of course, added a few more interesting benefits here. Also, I'm happy to share the presentation later if this sounds good for people that might be hearing all of this for the first time. And this is a little bit how the program goes, okay? Also, if you have any questions, feel free to share it in the chat. We'll have a moment for questions. So if you want to just take the chance and not miss it later, do use the chat for it. And these are the program stages, as I was saying. So broadly, we start with selecting the organizations that participate. We start the training of trainers, and in the meantime, it can also be in parallel, of course. We have the call for participants, your calls for participants to join the programs. We prepare the welcome calls to the group. We do info sessions about what is the program like, do they have questions, etc. With which one of you, we help you prepare this. Then we launch what is the mentor matching, so that each entrepreneur is matched with a mentor, and that they can do everything online, as I was saying. I will tell you more about it, and we will see all the details of it when the training starts. And after an entrepreneur has a mentor, they are ready to start. They could start the incubation online, which we will see a little bit more also further in the meeting. And of course, then we can do the closing of the program. I know each organization has also an approach to this. So let's see how we can add to that and how we can help you close the program better. But we do have in processes, methodologies that help you survey the entrepreneur, survey the mentor, understand what was the impact of the program with their organizations. We have a closing session model that we can also apply. So this is a little bit how it would work. We have 1-2 months of trainings. Then we do all the welcomes for a month. This is what we recommend, right? Broadly, roughly a month of mentor matching. Then we start the incubation for around 3 months. This is how it would look in terms of timeline. And what makes this program different? Well, first of all, of course, because this is an incubation platform that entrepreneurs use with the methodology that it's our property as well, that we've developed through the years. That has been validated with many organizations, with many programs, with many organizations that are already here today too. We have also a team, myself and other colleagues from the Bridge for Billions team, that will help you co-manage this. We can do check-ins throughout the program, understand how the program is going, help you with what else can we do, how is the progress, what should we be looking at each phase. So this is why we're here, to help you out, to support your programs. And then, of course, we also have a community in Bridge for Billions where every time we will host a masterclass, an event that is specific and open to the community, your entrepreneurs and your mentors will also be welcome to join. And this would be for life. So even if the program is over and we do communication to the community, they are always welcome to join. Okay, so let's maybe look a little bit more into what is this methodology that I'm talking about, that it has been totally digitized and that it's designed so that it's like a gamified experience. So entrepreneurs are joining, and as they are going through the program, they will design their venture. So this is split into 8 business models that I will share just in a little bit. And basically what they do is they are designing each one of the steps, each one of the components of their venture, so that at the end, they can really see how the venture is performing in a visual way, make decisions, understand what were the blind sides that they were not considering, and understand really what is the result of those scenarios that they are choosing for their venture. Let's say if they start with understanding, okay, let's look at your value proposition, we'll have to understand, okay, so if this is the solution that you bring, who are the customer segments that you are working with? And let's see if your solution fits your problem and how does it fit to those specific customer segments. Let's go to look at your competitors and see how do they stand according to those specific customer segments that you mentioned and those specific pain points that you mentioned. And then at the end, they always have a visual way of understanding how it's going. And they can use this, of course, not only for them, for their teams, for their stakeholders. So this is, and then at the end, they will, produce a new executive summary. This is different from the other editions, actually. This is a new launch that we have. This executive summary, it's basically a pitch deck, an investor's pitch deck, for example, that they can use as a first start, and where they have a summary of everything that they did, but they can edit it, they can make new decisions after at the end of the program. So I will share all of this, of course, when we start. But this is a very comprehensive way of understanding, okay, this is really the structure of my business. What is my go-to-market strategy, and how do I implement everything that it's on my head and that I've been working with? Okay, so who are the entrepreneurs that we are working with? For some of you, this is not new, but we work with early stage entrepreneurs. But early stage entrepreneurs is a concept that changes so much, even from country to country, region to region, and sometimes even organization to organization. So I wanted everyone to be on the same page. So we work with entrepreneurs that are in this incubation stage level of maturity. They already have a concept. They are not purely on ideation stage. They are a bit past that. They already know what the product or the service, what they want to sell to whom. They have an idea strong enough that will allow them to then develop the whole business on top of it. So they have to have a concrete idea, even if they, of course, they will learn a lot about the product moving forward. Or they can already be in a project stage where they even have an MVP, they are testing it, they are validating, they want to understand what is the business model, what works and what doesn't. Or they can be in a stage where they're already selling, they already have a launched business, an operating business, and now they want to understand, okay, but how do I make this business viable? What is the marketing funnel that I'm missing? How do I start making this business be efficient so that I can scale later on? And this is where we work and where the businesses actually where the majority of the organizations that want support, that need support are, and that we can provide this support for them. I'm not seeing the chat, but I will take it at the end. I see that there are some questions here. Okay, so as an incubator, this is a little bit how we'll be working together, right? So we will be building capacity for your organization, because we will be having all these trainings and all these meetings in the beginning for a month and a half, where we'll really share practices between us. Then your entrepreneurs will be able to go through the digital online incubation with an incubation manager from your side, and with our support also helping you manage this program. The mentor, of course, will also access, so we'll be able to see all the methodology and to use it to really guide their mentoring sessions if they want, of course, besides the mentoring approach that they also have. This is usually one-on-one, so each entrepreneur has a mentor. You can have more than one mentor, even if you would like, and one mentor should have one or two entrepreneurs, but all entrepreneurs should have a mentor so that they can really week by week share the ideas, share the scenarios, have a little bit of challenge and coaching on that side. And at the end, you will be able to auto-generate the business plan. So after they've been through all the business models, they can download the business plan. As I was saying, this is very different now this year because it's more of an executive summary, so they can really understand in a structured way how all the points and how all the steps of the business are related, and they can edit it and add more information to it when the program is already over. And of course, you have, as an incubation manager, you will be able to access an analytics side of the platform, which is an admin panel that allows you to manage your program and to see how the program is going. I will show you later on, but you can see what is the progress of each of the entrepreneurs, and you can have call to actions based on that. Even before that, you can select entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs and mentors, sorry, can be matched in the platform. You will see who invited whom to work together, what they say about each other, and who will be a good match to each other. And we'll have also time to see all of this. And you can also see the results of the surveys that we are doing to the group. So they have, at the end of each of the business models and at the end of each of the stages. So after 1 month, after 2 months after the program, we will ask how it's going, what is their feedback, do they have any feedback that they want to share, what are being the challenges, what have been the learnings. They will tell us, and you will be able to see it and watch how your group is standing. So this is super helpful as a program manager, and this is why we want this to be available for your teams too. Is someone... Hello, I think it's Praga. Okay, the microphone was on. Maybe we will have, I don't know if it was a mistake, but we will have a moment for questions at the end. So please do share your questions and keep your questions for later. And of course, they will have access to all the perks that we have in the community. We have today, they can access a lot of services with the discount, with a privilege discount. And as entrepreneurs that have been through our incubation platform, they will be able to access all of this. Okay, so this is I will not go into too in depth about this, but this is a little bit how the platform works from the admin perspective. You can see all the information about your ventures. Mentors will be able to see it. So you can see also how it's looking, how they are progressing. You will be able to open each of the ventures and see more. Everything is available in your list of projects and of mentors. And for the entrepreneurs, of course, that they will go through this methodology, so they will learn everything about it, and they will have access to a larger community. They will have access to the events that I was saying that we usually promote every now and then. Also, they will have this possibility of meeting the group if you don't have an on-site visits today. They will be able to access all the online meetings that we are doing. The platform allows them to work with their teams in a collaborative way, so everyone can access and can work at the same time. And these metrics that are here, this is what we measure as Bridge for Billions for every program. So after the program has ended, we will see and we will survey the entrepreneurs to see what skills, soft skills and hard skills they've developed from a list that we know that they should supposed to be developing as part of the entrepreneurship program. So you will be able to know this as well. What has happened to your cohort? What they say that has happened because of your intervention too. And they will be able, of course, and the goal is that they are investment ready by the end in terms of having revisited all the components of their venture. So we want them to look at their venture from this very zoom out and then zoom in way through all the steps and know, okay, this is what I need to work on for it to be viable, so I can address later on and start working and launching, etc. So I can also be looking for the next stage, which is investment readiness. But in terms of my venture, I have done the work on the business side. So this is a little bit the goal, okay? So this is what we want to work with them throughout the incubation platform, with the support of your incubation methodology as well. Okay, so for the mentors are usually volunteers in our programs. They dedicate 1 hour per week. So the goal is that they meet with each entrepreneur 1 hour every week, and that they go through the platform, they understand how it's going, they see the entrepreneur's work, they leave comments, they can also understand, okay, this is what we should be looking at for the next meeting, and they can really guide their work throughout the methodology too. We usually have a recommendation for the profile. I think that we can leave also this for the next sessions, and to understand how we can select good mentors for this kind of program. I know that you also have your mentors, so we can align on all of this. And they also get a certificate at the end as having been a mentor that went through the methodology too. These are, okay, so we are, now some of you already can see yourselves here. These are some of the organizations that have worked with us in previous editions. They are better than anyone, also people who can talk about the program, even if there are a few changes and their experience. Some of you are here today, so this makes me very happy. And here we have some of the projects that also from your organizations that have participated in the cohort before. For the sake of time and so that we have time for questions, I will pass this, but later on we can also make it available. And some feedback from entrepreneurs. In this case, it was from Turtle Ventures, but we have also from others. So you did an amazing job in the previous editions, because entrepreneurs seem to be happy. And they say that usually that the tool, this incubation platform, really allows them to have a very comprehensive understanding about their businesses. So this is why we think this could be a good way of building capacity to your own programs. Okay, now it would be the time for questions, but I will perhaps invite Maxime to share a bit more of 2 topics to the group.
Thanks, Alex, very much for the sharing of Bridge for Billions and how it has evolved. One point that I would like to share, especially with the new participants here in this webinar, about what we understand in terms of impact entrepreneurs, because as you can see also from some of the slides from Alex, that social innovation, for example, is part of what we would be discussing or would cover in the Bridge for Billions program. There are also certain training about systemic thinking that are all very much core to the idea of impact entrepreneurship. So usually in B-Briddhi, how we aim or we set out to support impact entrepreneurs. What we meant by impact entrepreneurs is that it is a business that has a business model and revenue stream, but at the same time it is set out to solve a social problem with the use of a business solution. And so what we meant by impact, apart from simply creating employment, is that we often also ask, who are we creating this impact for? And very often we suggest incubators, but also entrepreneurs, to ask themselves 3 questions. First of all is, what am I trying to create, or what problem am I trying to solve? The second question, which often is a differentiator, which is who would experience the impact that we will be creating with the solution that we're offering. And very often what we're trying to address or highlight is that, well, are you creating improvement in life for people in middle class that would have access to other solutions anyways? Or are you really trying to solve problem for people that would not have this solution or would not have this problem solved in the very first place? For example, rural areas, smallholder farmers, or the bottom of the pyramid population. And then the third question is, how do I solve it? How do I solve it with a business? So this is often quite an important part when it comes to what kind of startup that we support within the program of B-Briddhi. And so I would like to highlight this to the participants or organizations that haven't taken part in our program before. Nevertheless, acknowledging that, with Bridge for Billions, we're targeting at relatively early stage startups, sometimes even simply after ideation phase. it is quite challenging for them to have a very solid impact model in the business. Nevertheless, I think during the selection process, this is definitely one factor that you should take into account and put certain weight into it. With that, I think it's better to also open the floor for questions. So yeah, that's it.
Do you hear me? Yes. Now you do? Okay. Just thank you, Maxime. And because of what you said, I am just sharing in the chats our methodology. If you want to learn more about how the platform works, etc., this is our website. And here you will see that we also have an impact business module. So businesses will be able to, regardless, even if sometimes in some problems that we have, not all businesses are impact driven as the core of their mission, but they all develop an impact plan. So as Maxime was saying, we also learn about system thinking, about impact, and they will be able to from not only have financial projections for 3 years, but they also have growth plan for 3 years and an impact model. So this is very important also, that even if they are not initially an impact organization, they are able to understand how impact can be embedded in their business model. Okay, maybe I will just allow people to unmute and share a few questions while I also see the chat and try to answer them.
Guys, if you have any questions about how the Virtual Billions program might impact your accelerator, you can please ask some questions. I also already see Tanvir from Better Stories has a question. Tanvir bhai, over to you.
Thank you, Med bhai. Hi, Alexandra. This is Tanvir from Better Stories. Thank you for the presentation. So I had a question. So Bridge for Billions is specifically targeting early stage entrepreneurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as it goes with early stage entrepreneurs, founders go through a lot of iterations in the early days. So can you explain a little bit more about how your platform caters to those high iteration needs? Like can you basically walk me through the process, how founders can basically record and gain insights from the iterations while using the tool?
Absolutely, thank you. That's a good question. So the platform is actually designed for that purpose. So they will, and you will see online, I didn't want to make this too heavy and too long, but we even have videos of how the platform works, so you can see more. I just shared in the chat a link for our website too. But basically what they do is we guide them through the process thinking. So we make questions, and founders either have their answers because they did this work a little bit before, but we want them to challenge them and rethink them, or they have to go on the field, on sites, and look for the answers. So we ask them to survey customers, we ask them to do research work. So it is true that the goal is that the most dedicated that they are, the more they will get it, because they will make assumptions and then go back and change them. And this is totally okay. So they will, the models, they're not supposed to do them all at once. They will open because it's really a growing process. So they are, I'm giving an example. So let's start. Okay, I want to understand what is the problem that you are solving and what are the solutions that you have catered for this problem. And then at the even in that first business model, I can understand that there is something that doesn't fit quite right. So I need to go and review it. And I need to go and ask for my customers or my beneficiaries if this is really solving their problem and how, and then perhaps go back to the platform and change it. And as they grow into the 8 business models, which are customer segments, stakeholders map, marketing funnel, pricing strategies, projections, as I was saying, impact model, growth plan. So they can always go back and change because they've learned something new. And they will see that the summary of each of the business tools, of each of these business models online will change, and they will see how the business is performing now. So they have the 3 months of the incubation process to do this. And then at the end, in the executive summary that we are providing, they can make edits based on what they've learned. So it's not only a mere reflection. Before it was in other editions. And now it's something that they can also, by the end, because they've learned all of this, they can do the changes and rethink and have different answers. Does this answer your question?
Yes, it does. So I have a follow-up question, if I may.
Yes, I think you're the only one with questions by now.
All right. So as it goes with early stage founders again, let's say they come up with a hypothesis and they have been working on the idea for, let's say, a few weeks to a month, or let's say 2 months. And then their idea is being heavily tested by whatever they're trying out in the market, like through their interactions with the customers, through building the MVP. So what if, let's say, a founder decides to go through a very, very large pivot, which wasn't captured in the application phase of this program? So what do we do in that scenario?
Okay, so if it's a pivot, it's okay, because what we do is that they will have perhaps a different way of a solution that has been renewed and a different way of applying it, but the core of the project, it's will be the same in terms of mission, perhaps. So as long as you, as the incubator, also that are working, they're hosting the program for this entrepreneur, think that it's still aligned with the values and with why this entrepreneur was selected, the motivation is the same, I don't see any problem. And if this happens throughout the incubation, it's a matter of reshifting what has been built until now and redoing the program, and that would be a great insight that this entrepreneur has come to mind. So no problem at all. If there's a values question, or if the project changes entirely, that would be also for the host of the program, I think, to evaluate, and we can have those conversations and understand how it fits the program.
Awesome, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Okay, I will ask maybe Mahad if you can help me see if there's anyone with other questions.
Guys, do you have anyone in the room who has any questions, or you can also share your experiences last year? I see Samuel Kai from Startups Next raising his hand. Hi, Samuel Kai, over to you.
Hi, thank you so much, Mantai. Alexandra, a great presentation, very informative. Thank you so much. Currently we work at NSU Startups Next, which is a startup incubator backed by North South University. So my question to you is, how do you work with incubators like us? So if you could just give us a brief summary of how you're working with the other incubators, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, so you mean incubators within universities?
Yes.
Okay, so we did work, we had several programs with universities, either within an entrepreneurship course, actually, or just because they were alumni or students from that university, so different models. I think that for you, it is quite very, very interesting that you have the admin panel, that you have the mentors, you can choose everything that online, that you can guide it online. It really gives the students or the alumni a really a process to work with that doesn't depend only on the mentor that has been educated or the availability of the professor, etc., but actually gives them a standard model to work throughout the cohort itself. And I don't know exactly how you work. We can have this conversation also later on if you want. Just message me to understand exactly, and I clarify all the questions. But usually what happens is that I don't know if there's many students that participate and many professors or who are your mentors, but this really helps to have a structure of the group and understand who is the ideal match for each student, who understand what is the progress, if this is linked to actually to a degree that they are taking, and not only on the site, incubating projects on the site. This also helps you reporting on progression, understanding how the group is going, see a health, let's say, monitor panel of that course within this specific part of the course. So I think it has a lot of features that help you manage this kind of programs too. But if you want to be very specific, just ask me. I have my contacts here, actually. Let me just share with you. And you can email me, alexandra@bridgeforbrilliance.org, or through Mehad, Ben, and Maxime too, no problem. And then I can be with all those specific questions if you would like.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes. Okay, so I am Dr. Sajjad Hossain, the director of NSU Startups Next. So we are thinking of one model. That's how we want to work. So can I present one slide and explain a little bit so that
Mahed, how are we in terms of time? I will let you.
We have 10 more minutes left. Maybe
Okay.
that's okay.
just
Yeah.
I will be one slide. I will be just giving the idea in brief.
I think you will have to be co-host for that. Just 1 second. Let's see.
Shajabha, you can share.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So can you see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's simple. So let me. So basically, right now, that's what we are thinking, that the impact-driven, let's say, projects or the entrepreneurship or whatever it is, the startups. So we believe that industry have a lot of ideas for that, okay? Because those who are already in the business, they have many other ideas that can impact to their business and the community. So what we want to take, we want to get the ideas from them, or let's say from industry, some people will be taking those initiatives. And let's say project one, project two, whatever we can say, business one, business two ideas. And under that project, basically we will assign multiple faculty members, one from engineering, one from, let's say, the business, and one from, let's say, social science or so on. But the industry people will be also involved as in that project or ideas. And then we will, I mean, do something. Do something means whatever it is needed, either prototyping or so on. Okay. So in engineering department, we have, let's say, we say final year projects, basically from 2 semesters, either 8 months to 12 months, a group of students will be developing projects. Okay. So we are saying those idea projects. So we like to take those idea projects as impact driven projects in consultation with our industry people or industry partners. Now the question is, for that probably we will need mentorship, guidance to them. That's one thing we are looking for. And also we like to fund those projects. Okay, a small amount of fund, let's say 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs or 500,000 taka for each project. So our concern is how that can be done. I mean, the funding side or the mentorship side or so on. Thank you. I think that's my, question.
Thank you. Okay, so I will focus on the program aspects of it where I see synergies. So I think this program would focus on the start, like after the ideation phase, when there's already a concrete concept that we want to work with. And what we do is that we open a call for mentors, and you can specifically tailor your call for that industry, and for amplifiers, let's say organizations that can bring also mentors, where we can promote the program that are sector-based experience, right? Although the program is focused on the business side of it, so we know that our mentors come from a very diverse background, so they have different experiences in different sectors. But here they will have the entrepreneurship methodology of the incubation platform to help them guide the program in terms of what it is to launch a startup. And then they have the industry-based knowledge. So we would have to promote calls that are amplified in the circles where these mentors could be, these professionals could be. What's one thing that is very interesting is that we can add content to the platform. I didn't say this, but we can add resources, and now we have something called pills, which are content pills that entrepreneurs can access at any time. They can download. So you could also, as an entrepreneurship organization, upload the platform with your own content if you do have it. For example, for programs that are very in this from a certain sector and and have a topic that it's very specific, we can add content also as well on that sector. So this could be interesting for your organization too. And then regarding the funding, so we don't have it within the incubation platform at the end as a goal and as a part of the program. I don't know, Maxime, if you want to share your insights on this part.
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Yes, of course. So about funding possibilities for the entrepreneurs within the broader program.
I see. So I think for us, the funding opportunities for impact startups, we target at startups that are of a slightly later stage. For example, they are about to raise, for example, seed round, or also probably pre-Series A. Then the catalytic funding part would be more suitable for them. But for such early stage, like, for example, what we talked about, close to ideation phase or slightly after ideation phase, this is way too early to receive any sort of impact-linked finance from us. Nevertheless, I do want to share some success stories, so to speak, from the first cohort. Some of them, they have now evolved to a place where they're about to prepare to raise the very first round of the series pre-seed, like the seed round, and they will be applying also to the Impact Ready Matching Fund. What I think is just really exciting to see how there are actually many different types of incubation programs running out there, also of universities. And I do hope that with this, given the context also in B-Briddhi, is really to help you, offer a structure and also really leverage this digitalized tool to also address the challenge of distance, right? Because, with mentors, you probably can easily find them in Dhaka. But what if you want to work with entrepreneurs beyond Dhaka? They are not going to, drive 5 hours every week to meet your mentees, right? So I think this is really the beauty of Bridge of Billions, given the context of Bangladesh, how the startup scene is being very vibrant in Dhaka. But nevertheless, if we want to really spread the growth also to the entire country, I think Bridge for Billions is really an interesting option for us. And that's also what we celebrate in the past 2 years, given the fact that we've been in lockdown. So if you have any, I'm just being mindful of time. If you have any further questions, please do reach out to info@sie-b.org. And we were happy to share our answers with you, but also please note that the deadline of the application is coming up quite soon. So please do take your action so that you can really benefit from this round of Bridge for Billions platform licenses from the program of B-Briddhi. Also, I would like to say thank you for all your questions and also sharing of your experiences. I think this is really a good opportunity for us to reflect on what we've been doing and what are also some of the needs that might have evolved. So thank you very much for everyone who is being here today. And thank you very much, Alex, for preparing such a informational presentation.
Thank you so much, Maxime and Alex, for taking this wonderful session. And before we wrap it up, can I request everyone to turn the cameras on? Maybe we can take a quick picture before we end the session. May I request everyone to turn the cameras on? All right, 3, 2, 1, say cheese. So thank you so much for attending this session. Just to give a quick update, the deadline is April 13th, so don't miss that. And if you need any kind of support in terms of the application, you can also reach out to us at Light Castle, and you can also mail at info@sieb.org as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.